Oh, you didn't see that coming. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is just going to be a very laid back, very beginner friendly sewing project that is a historical project as well, which is the mobcap, which is very much one of the many caps worn during the 18th century. I think a lot of times in portraits and paintings you see it usually worn by women that have that really frizzy, crazy hedgehog hairdo. So yes, that's what we're going to be making today. The techniques I'm showing you is more historically adequate, not historically accurate, but that's okay. This is meant to just be a laid back, user-friendly beginner video for those interested maybe in just maybe getting their foot wet, or also not, for those that are just more into it for fun, not to be historically accurate. So yeah, let's make a mobcap. So first things first, you're going to want to draft your pattern, which is very simple. It's just a big circle, and this is packing paper, which actually is pretty good because that gives us a fairly decent, just the right amount for a pattern. So I'm finding my middle line, which is literally right here. So mark your center, and from there, since we want ours to be about 18 inches across, half of 18 is 9. So you mark your 9, and then your 18. So again, just to get a close-up for you guys, 9 and 18. So once you have all your marks set in place, you can either do your circle freehand, or of course you can do the pencil and string method, which I'm not very good at that, so I'm just gonna freehand it. So this is about as small as you can go for your circle. I actually almost recommend going up another inch. So instead of 9, you have 10 all the way around, which would give you a 20-inch circumference. And here's your mobcap base. It's a very beginner pattern to draft because you're literally drafting just a big circle. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out 2 of these in my fabric, and then we will begin sewing. First step is, of course, to sew your pieces together. You're going to want to make sure that you leave about a 2 to 3 inch gap where you can turn it right side out. But before that, we need to clip our seam allowance, and then we'll flip it right side out and press it. Once that's all done, it's time to make the channel for your elastic to go in. Now you should probably actually measure in about 2 inches or however much you want it to be in. I just personally use like the actual machine to figure out where it needs to go. So the first line is going to end exactly where you have that entrance, so you want it only to be about So in other words, you want it to end so there's again that 2 to 3 inch gap in the same area as the gap on the outside. Then the second line is going to be a solid line that just goes all the way through. And again, I'm very bad. I just use my foot this time to measure out how big and wide my channels should be. And there you can see that is my channel finished. And we'll feed the elastic through that here in a second. For the elastic, I cut about 20 to 22 inches because you're going to have to remember that you will lose some of this, but this is really a very personal thing. Like, you should just test it out to see how much elastic you're going to need for your head circumference and also your hairdo circumference, because if you're wearing a very big hairdo or a wig, yeah. Once you feed your elastic through and you have it all finished up and everything, you can just go ahead and close the opening by top stitching it down. You can be done with the mob cap at this point if you really want to, but I always like to add a little bit of baby lace trim in 100% cotton lace, just to give it that extra flair. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell. I look like a hot mess, but that's okay. We're all hot messes on this channel. I kind of feel like I look like a reject from the Muppets Christmas Carol. Not the human ones either, like a Muppet.